Welcome to the Pure Fandom podcast. I am one of your hosts, Liz, joined by my co-host, Meg.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. We are back recapping Paramount Plus's new series, Wolfpack. This is a recap of the third episode. But first, Meg.
Yes.
If you're watching on video, Meg, you have a lovely, book-loving, amazing background.
Well, thank you. I decided to not sit in my bedroom like a creep, even though I was run out of my office by a cat, and sit downstairs. And I just painted my bookshelves, if you're watching on video, black, because I've been painting like literally everything black. But I've got my little Buffy and Spike behind me and my growing collection of Buffy books, which if you haven't read those are so good. The new Kendar Blake ones. Oh, love them.
And you also have that beautiful teal color. Like, I feel like the juxtaposition going on over there. And look at that mustard love seat. What?
It is actually an accent chair, and it matches your curtain.
Okay.
I feel like there's so much synergy happening here.
Yeah, but you look really cool. I didn't wash my hair today, and this curtain, like, it's pretty. I was telling Meg I just got this. I just got this to help with sound, but now I'm in like this weird, like, do I look like I'm in a closet?
No, you look like you're sitting by like beautiful bay windows that you've blocked the light out of.
Okay, yeah, no.
It's romantic.
It's romantic. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. And then I finally found my camera that I bought for when we were podcasting about Roswell, New Mexico. It's that one camera. It's got like a ring light thing. I don't have the light turned on right now.
Fun.
I know, but I feel like my face is very...
Your face is gorgeous. And in my house, if you say something negative about yourself, you have to say 3 positive things. And you said you didn't look cool. And I think you look very cool. And I think you are smart. And I think you are beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're
just
welcome.
more meant my face is like taking up the whole frame here. Because it zooms.
I don't think so. Oh, it does do like a little like, let me get in there.
I know. Yeah. So it's so I'm going to try not to move, which you know is very hard for me, but I'm going to try not to keep my reactions just to like my facial expressions. Okay.
And not the hands.
Right.
Not like the TikTokers who are always like, what are you doing? I guess if I had cool nails, I would do that too, but ASMR.
I don't know.
It just reminds me of when my brother would tap on everything because he's a drummer and that was annoying to me. So there's nothing about ASMR that I can get down with. I'm so sorry, everyone.
The only one I have been unable to take my eyes off of is the Jessica Alba one, where she it's from a few years ago and she's putting all her makeup on. And she just, I mean, she's so stunning and she seems really sweet. Like I know Jessica Alba. I mean, whatever.
Best friends.
So close. I use her lavender and chamomile body wash. I do. It's great. But yeah, I was kind of addicted and it worked because now I use that primer mask. It's a great mask. I don't know that it does anything.
Selling
stuff. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? I want to know what you thunk about Wolfpack Season 1, Episode 3. We're learning more. What would you overall grade this episode?
I actually really, not that I didn't like it, but those first few episodes, you always just get a lot of info. I thought the tension in this episode was really good. And I don't like jump scares and I knew they were coming, but I jumped at all of the spots I knew I was supposed to jump, even though I knew it was going to happen. So I felt like they did a really good job of building how tense those moments felt, like waiting in the house and then the door. And yeah. And I don't know, I feel like if I had to do a letter grade, I would give it a solid B because
yep,
it's still build up. So there's B for build up. There's not a lot that it actually happened. Yeah. So I'll save my A's for that. But the anticipation is really it's there. I really want to know what the H is going on. So I would definitely give it a solid B. What about you?
I was gonna say B too. I feel like I could follow more of this episode, and not because it's like, wait, that didn't make sense. It just the last 2 episodes, it was a little hard for me to like stick with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Stick with it and where it's like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? It's just like, okay, so that's happening now. Great. Wait, why are we talking about her face? How I don't know what's going on. And this, I was like, ooh, okay. And then in the beginning, I'm really digging the actual werewolf form. It's creepy.
It's very creepy.
Like I'm feeling it. I love it. So yeah, I would say a solid B. I'm into it.
Me too. And I feel like our theories that we talked about with okay, we got to stop calling her by her name. What's her character's name? Kristen Ramsey.
Who's that?
That's Sarah Michelle Gellar's character's name. We just only call her
I,
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
well, and I just said I was paying attention, and I
I
don't.
know.
Well, once again, it took her forever to show up. Well, I mean, she showed. I'm
She was
sorry.
in it a little more,
She
but yeah,
right. It not
not
enough
as much
still.
as we want. So what is she like, Detective Ramsey, I guess we could call her. Um, and she was definitely like more present and had more lines and like
Mhm.
the whole like what keeps you up at night and all of that like that happened in this episode. But I definitely felt like they were laying the groundwork for the reveals of the theories we already came up with about her either being like the mom of the twins or maybe being the werewolf that's protecting them. Because
Mhm.
like the sound machine, like why would you put that on unless like you're trying to block out other werewolves from listening, or like there was just like weird things. And like there was a moment when she looked at the twins, I think she looked at Harlan a little longer than normal, and it was just like mm, I feel like she's definitely like I feel like her and the two cops might be wolves, like werewolves, or somehow involved. You know, like it just feels like they're a pack or something because of she's like, if you do this again, you're off the task force. And like he seemed a little more upset about it and like
Uh-huh.
disappointed. Like maybe it meant like you're kicked out of the pack or something like that. So I don't know. I feel like
Well,
she's wolfy.
absolutely, she's a wolf. But I feel like there's some like how last week we were talking about how there's like adult wolf drama and there's there's millennial wolf drama and Gen Z wolf drama. And the
Yeah.
millennials are just trying to like she's trying to have her job at, the station, it seems like. And this wolf in the woods could be completely unrelated to her and like whatever she has going on if our theory is true
Hmm.
and she is a wolf. And maybe this wolf is trying to like get the upper hand by making all the little BBs his pack and pissing off uh Kristen Kirsten
Detective Ramsey?
Detective Ramsey. You see
We're
I'm
gonna go
like
with that. Yeah.
I bet Detective Ramsey and who's SMG and this wolf that we're seeing in wolf form have some beef, and this wolf is finally like, okay, these little pups are old enough now for me to like make them into my pack, and I'm also going to bite a couple other ones just to like grow the pack a little bit.
Chomp chomp.
Chomp
Well,
chomp.
yeah,
Running
the
theory.
was it's Phoebe, what was one of the other girls? That whole like car tire thing, like that was really creepy.
Yeah. So
Um,
what's going on with that? So that's so what. And first, remind me, okay, and this might
yeah,
be helpful for the listeners too. What's going on with those 14s? I know they were friends. Like Blake was friends with Phoebe, is that
yes,
her name? And then,
yes.
there was some sort of falling out. Phoebe's mean to the other gal. And it seems like Harlan hooked up with one of the
One of the guys.
one of the guys. So
Hmm.
there's definitely their classmates. There's some like teen drama, but are we just bringing them into the picture now because we need to have someone like, get captured or hurt or something, and that's what's going on with Phoebe? Why is this wolf after her anyways? Or was the wolf that slashed her tires uh Detective Ramsey, or one of Detective Ramsey's possible werewolves, to try and like keep her silent and out of their werewolf business?
I don't know, 'cause
Because
I feel
because
like she
she's
wasn't really in it, you know?
but
Like
she
she's
was
in it
bringing up
now.
questions. You know what I mean? Like she's
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she said something that they didn't like. Now I'm getting way off track here. But back to
Yeah,
what are the point of the kids, these other kids that are
like,
non-werewolves?
well, I think they're gonna be werewolves or something. So like Connor was the one with the cast. Austin was like the obnoxious one on the bus. So there's these other kids that are not like the core four that we've seen a bunch of that either have been taken and we have to assume they've been bitten, and we know Connor was bitten, but
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't like his bite wasn't like activated until he got like a tetanus shot, which is weird. Like that hasn't really been explained because it didn't seem like it hit him until he got that, and then he like
Right.
healed and stuff. Um, we don't really know what's going on with the other ones, and they don't seem to be questioning them quite as much as they are questioning those or going after that core four that we've already seen a bunch of. So it's not really clear why. And I do think you mentioned before about maybe multiple wolves. Like maybe there's pack drama. There's two separate packs in the
Mm-hmm.
the millennial wolf drama. Like there's the detectives are sort of the good guys, maybe protecting the kids, but probably from like her skeezy ex werewolf pack guy who we
Mm-hmm.
don't know who that is yet. So maybe it's him taking other teens because he's like, oh, fine, you're gonna have Gen Z wolves, then I need Gen Z wolves too to like to compete. Maybe they're being taken by the other guy because whoever's calling them is telling like warning them against the big mean one. So maybe the big mean one is trying to collect them, just not being successful on the core four of Harlan and Blake and Everett and Luna. Hasn't gotten them yet, even though he wants them. The good wolf, we have to. Our theory is that we think it's Detective
Yeah.
Ramsey is protecting those four, but seems to not give any F's about the other ones. She's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
take him, you know. So we'll
So,
see.
okay. I don't know that I need this many werewolves. Like I
We
mean, are we
don't know if they are. Our theories are that there's this
right?
many werewolves. Yeah.
Right. But I don't want the werewolf thing to lose its luster. Like I just want to know, okay, the issue here is we don't know who the big bad werewolf
Yeah.
that's lurking is. Um, if
Who we
Detective
think is a
Ramsey,
boy. We're led to assume it's male, whoever this big bad is. They think it's their dad, the twins.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So if and now they've killed a cop, whoever the big bad werewolf is.
Hmm.
And that could lean into our theory that that cop was another werewolf, maybe in like Detective Ramsey's pack, if she indeed is a werewolf. So this could support that theory.
Or it could be her being like, "What the f? I warned you. This is what you get, and I'm gonna squish your face." So
I love
way
that.
to go, buddy. You know.
I love that. Okay, that'd be great. But that would still then be well, that I guess that still supports our theory that if Detective Ramsey is that big bad wolf, she's supports because she's unsuccessful in getting the core four, but she's, snatching up all these other ones.
Yes. It is
Okay.
all very, or it's some other rando that we don't even know yet. Like it's so unexplained, and that's why it's B for build up because we have like no idea
B for Bill.
what
Right.
what's lurking, like, and we
Yeah.
know it's not Garrett. I think we can rule Garrett out as at least the wolf that came to the house because he was still on the phone with Luna and when that werewolf came to like save Harlan. So
Well,
like
and
we can
I
rule him
think,
out.
and he's got his own drama right now, which we'll dive into in a minute. But
Yeah, he does.
or maybe we can let's just go into it. Okay, so it's definitely not Garrett.
Hmm.
Running theory, it's either a competing werewolf of Detective Ramsey's pack, if she indeed is a werewolf, or it is Detective Ramsey. Something going
I
on.
like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
So Garrett, buddy, he's been harboring up silver bullets that he admitted was intended for the kids.
Why didn't he just say no? Should just been like, nah, you didn't have to say, yeah, I was going to have to kill you guys. Sorry. LOL, I love you. He could have just
Yeah,
been like, no,
or maybe
because
it's
now,
like, but even if agreed, but even say, in case you grew up to be and like, kill me or something, but you didn't. So I kept him as a safety in case maybe someone came after you. Like, why don't you just,
right, instead of just like one word answers with tear-filled eyes of
yeah,
adorableness, like, I feel like there could have been more context thrown at those children. And
right?
I don't know, Harlan has like way too much aggression in every scene. Like, just calm down. Just be like a little calmer. Because he's like, the full moon doesn't affect us. But like, yeah, you seem angry all the time. Like, are you
Right?
actually okay? And he's always yelling at Luna for being like, it's our pack. And he's like, shut the F up. Like, but why? Like, she's fine. Leave her alone.
She's trying to
Like,
problem solve.
yes, she's putting all the little puzzle pieces together because everyone else is having like fantasies about each other or like, doing other things. And she's
Right.
just like, we're connected. Connection. And thank God they're not going down a creepy road and making the twins a little too connected. I would like them to make sure, would like them to maybe blood oath that they aren't going to go like Cersei Lannister style
Oh,
with
Gossip
the
Girl did a
siblings.
whole twincest thing in this last
Ah,
season. I don't think we're gonna
no,
be twincesty. We don't need that.
nobody
Um,
does. Nobody does. I
no.
do like the Blake and Everett stuff. It's really interesting because like they're not just like thinking it. They,
Hmm.
like they're in those poses and then they snap out of it. And I think she totally knew that he was also. Because she's like, so full moon just not affecting you. As he's like laying over a desk, like was he air kissing? Like I wish we could have seen the whole thing that she saw. He's just like, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
It was
also
just funny.
like, are we just they're just horny? Like that's all this is saying? Because like we learn more about mythology. The more the packs together, more powers on Earth, clearly, more supernatural stuff. They can start to hear each other. Pack is forming. Um, full moon makes them horny.
Hmm.
Is does the buck stop there? Is it that we just want horny teens, more hornier than normal? Or is like the horniness going to like does that lend to something larger we're not seeing? Because they keep bringing it up and no one's banging, you know?
True. Well, another thing that like we haven't really seen from like, well, it's all based in theory, is like the whole thing with the werewolf, the active like wolfy wolf. Is that something driven by hormones? Are we just like assuming it's for murder? Maybe he's just looking for like a little
For love.
companionship. And he's trying to spark a fire and he
Right.
accidentally started a fire and like it got out of hand and now he's just roaming around being
Right.
like, I'm just like leave the
Right.
building. I'm so sorry. Like I don't want to hump your leg, but it's a full moon and I can't really control myself right now. Like we don't know. We don't know
Looking
what
for
is
love.
driving him. And that's the other thing with like the
Or
fire. They
her.
haven't, or her, no
Yeah.
judgment. We haven't really like figured out what the fire has to do with everything, except for they were very clear about like a firewall that can't be crossed. So maybe it's not someone started the fire just for arson. It's like to keep someone in or keep someone out. Like they haven't really explained what the fire has to do with stuff yet. So I'm kind of interested to hear a little more about that, which I'm hoping that's the next episode that they talk about the fire a little more. They keep showing it and it's so like ominous and the shots are really
Yeah.
cool of
What does
it,
the
but
fire have to do with anything?
right,
Like,
like is it
can
destroying
they,
something? Like what is it?
or like, is that some new part of the mythology where wolves, like, I don't know. I mean, they clearly can't like handle fire, but it's like, is it, and does it have something to do with werewolves specifically?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I like your idea about the barrier part because that would indicate you are keeping something from coming in or getting out.
But
If
like
you're
somehow Garrett got through it or they like were able to find him. So like that must have been because of the helicopter. Like, again, we need more detail. I want to like
Yeah.
start ruling people out. Like, you are for sure not a werewolf, or you for
Right.
sure are. Um, I don't know if there's like a good test for it, because like, how do you tell? In other mythology, the werewolf, like, that just makes you a werewolf when there's a full moon. Like,
Right.
there you go. That's what you're doing. And maybe that's what this werewolf that we're seeing is, that it can't just hop between forms,
Right.
that it's a werewolf because of the full moon and they're just not there yet, the teenagers. I don't know.
Mm.
Building a
Well,
mystery, as they'd say.
so, and I might be forgetting something, but can Harlan and Luna change on the drop of a dime?
I don't think so. And it kind of seemed like the next episode, he's gonna have like his teeth out, Harlan. So they were definitely like wolf pups when he found them. He keeps talking about that. So we don't really know like how did they become human? Are they able to change back and forth? We haven't seen that yet. She was surprised about the glowing eyes, so that didn't seem like a thing that happens all
Right.
that often. And I guess the difference that we have to have explained is like, okay, they were actual wolves, not werewolves. So that's the difference. So are the bitten kids going to be like werewolves where they look like, walking on 2 feet, humanoid-ish, like the one we're
Right.
seeing? Or are they going to be wolves? And what's the difference?
Yeah. What's the difference between being bitten and being born?
Because Garrett thinks that there's a difference. Their dad was like, we don't know what their deal is. There's obviously going to be some differences. We just don't know what they are, or at least he doesn't. I'm hoping like Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be like, I'm sorry, Detective Ramsey is going to be like, y'all, here's what we know. Because in the
Right.
preview, I don't know if you saw the preview, she had like there was a board with like werewolves and like info, because that other teenager, like the obnoxious one, Austin,
Yeah.
from I think the first episode, he was like seemed to be getting interrogated or talking to her. So I mean, that could all be misleading, just like cut shots. We don't really know if he was there, but that's kind of how they made it look in the preview.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that I just want like not a ton of info dumped on us, but I want a little more of the lore. I want to know like
Right.
what she thinks is happening.
I think I'm liking it and I think we'll get there, but like I told you, I'm almost done with the first book.
Hmm.
And it's just a little bit more simple in that there are 4 siblings. Same thing. Garrett found them in the woods. They're out running around. They only know like what they've experienced together. They don't know anything about like the larger mythology of werewolves. But the running conflict right now is one of the siblings gets taken and trapped because they're like caught on camera by some like doctor looking at the nature, whatever. And so they catch her, I think it's the sister, and the mission is to free her. And these things are like unraveling as that's happening. And so I think I may be unfairly comparing the show with the book right now, but I'm struggling a little bit with like, what's the issue specifically that we need to focus on
Right.
here? And so I
Like,
think,
what's the conflict?
yeah. And it's like, okay, clearly there's the big bad wolf. Great. Who's calling? But then like what's gonna happen with Blake and Everett? Like, do we need to be worried about them right now? Or are they like better than ever now that they have like werewolf powers?
Yeah. Well, and like also speaking of calling, is the person that's calling part of the pack because they can hear them? Like, do they have the same
That's a great
connection?
observation. Ooh.
Yeah. Because like, are they hearing them or like anticipating them because they know that like, hey, he's coming for you, like they know what they're gonna do? Maybe
Mhm.
they were all bitten by this person, but Harlan and Luna were like his actual children, so they're a little different, but still part of the pack in a way. Also, like they were just found little puppies. Who's to say there aren't more of those? Like Phoebe is blonde. We could throw her in there as like consideration for maybe she's also a wolf puppy baby, you know? Like
But
we don't
she
really know
doesn't,
much about her.
yeah, but she's not like I don't know, she hasn't changed or, she hasn't, I don't know.
Well, Luna and Harlan said nothing ever happens to them on a full moon. So maybe if you have no idea, maybe you just wouldn't know. Maybe you just think like, oh, I just have really good hearing or really good smell, or like if you
Uh-huh.
don't know, and like if you're never with your pack, maybe
Then these
now
powers
just
won't unearth.
yeah, and like Connor, same thing. Like
Mm.
maybe something will happen with him because they never had healing powers before. Luna and Harlan, they said that before, that they didn't have like quick healing like these two. But now that they've spent more time with the pack, they're all kind of getting
Right.
better things. So maybe there are other little wolfies. Maybe Phoebe and Connor are other little wolf siblings that they don't even know about, you
And
know?
because Luna and Harlan grew up together, they have had, you know, sprinkles of werewolf experiences throughout their lives that makes them
Yes,
different.
because they have
Okay.
like a pack.
Right.
But I don't know. Let's see. What does Connor look like? I don't remember.
Let's
He's got
Google
dark
'em.
hair.
While you're looking that up,
Hmm.
so we had our second Luna horse reference.
Yes. What is all that about?
I don't know. So could there be, and if it was just like another animal instinct thing, I feel like it's intentional that it's a horse both times. She's had this
Yeah.
like vision thing. So did something happen? Is she part horse?
Is she going to gallop away?
Yeah, what's going
Yeah.
on there? So that was another observation. Oh, I'm looking at my notes here. Um,
It's a good observation. It was in the preview too, like maybe a flashback with a horse. So maybe we'll get a little more
okay,
info on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so what is that note? Oh, protector of four. I was just noting that now Garrett is protector, quote unquote, of four, like in the source material. However, now they're all mad at him because he made a weapon to kill them. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Or
But
that
like,
he could have said that to, like you said in the preview in the next episode, we will apparently get more on the lore. And so maybe he's saying like, yes, but here is why I have these created
yeah,
for you. Because it could be one of those things
yeah,
where he's like, if it came down to maybe this other werewolf, maybe Garrett's aware, okay, that there was another wolf, there is another wolf, and that they're bad. And maybe he's like, if it came down to them taking you and me preventing you from like becoming something really bad, like he would take them out. I don't know. That seems super dark, but
hmm,
or it's just the, more the obvious where he's like, yeah, I made them before I knew that you were like my kids, and it was like out of protection. I don't know.
or maybe he made them before he got them because he's always known about werewolves, and like that's the thing.
Oh,
It's like, yeah, I made it to kill you, but like not you specifically, werewolves, and like then I decided to like love you instead. Like maybe
and now
he's
you're my
known about it.
babies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And maybe he knows more about werewolves than he's telling them. Maybe, I mean, if you had werewolf kids, any good parent or any parent really would be at least curious. Then a good parent would do some freaking research and try to figure out like what you can do to help them and like how to raise these little wolf human babies,
How
like
to raise werewolves.
yeah. Like he
Yeah.
probably in some sort of like blog group, it's got like a
Oh,
chat
Facebook
room.
group. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And he probably has more info than they know and that then he has shared with them.
Yeah,
That's my theory. And
I
I
like
don't know,
it.
I just really like him. I like Garrett a lot. I really want Garrett and Detective Ramsey to have some sort of meeting. I want,
Relations.
yeah, I want Garrett to get an inhaler because dude is like coughing up a lung. I know he's got like smoke issues and whatever. So he's clearly like not a wolf that can heal
Right.
if he is a wolf at all, which I don't think he is. I think he's going to be
No, yeah, I don't
the
think he
human
is.
daddy.
Hmm. Daddy, capital D.
Daddy with a capital D. Um, but yeah, I really like his character and I want him to interact with the other adults because he's so far only been hanging with the
Hmm.
kiddos and their very intenseness while in the next room they're fantasizing about banging on his desk. Like I just want him to have like grown-up scenes too. Maybe with
Yes.
the desk. I'm not ruling that out either, but you know what I mean.
Do you think he might suspect, if our theory is right, that Detective Ramsey and that officer that died are werewolves? That's why he was also so shitty to him. I mean, yes, he was attacking his adopted son, Harlan, but do you think that's also why he was like, get off him and like all pissed because like he knew or
Yeah, well,
knows
and
that
like
he's a werewolf?
how he abruptly like turned around, like peeled in the road to come back. Like he came back with such aggression, and it wasn't just
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, Dad, like he's being a little rough with them, like what should I do?" He like no questions was just like, "I'm coming back." Like
Yeah,
he freaked out and I think that maybe he does know more than he's saying. I think. I
for
think he
sure. I think we'll learn more next week because, like you said, we're at kind of a point where it's like, okay, we get the landscape. Now I need more info.
Yes. I actually really am enjoying the landscape. I'm glad that we're not hanging out at their houses anymore with their
Mm-hmm.
little effed up families. Much prefer their found family. I really don't understand like Everett's parents' vibe. Although I don't want to hang out with them anymore. I would like to know why they're so crazy. Unless they know about werewolves and she's like, "What the F are you doing running around at night on a full moon? Like what's wrong with you, smack smack?" Like still
Yeah.
not cool, but I feel like that would make a little more sense that
Mm-hmm.
if she knows what's going on. I would
She
love
could
like a
be,
secret underground, all the adults know, having these meetings,
yeah.
knowing exactly what's up sort of thing, but
She's
that feels
kind of
like a
giving me
season
like
3
our
thing.
like the Argent family in Teen Wolf. Like there's
Yeah.
something going on with his family where um I mean, I think it'd be a little on the nose if they hunted werewolves, you know?
Yes. Please
Um
don't do that.
yeah, let's not do that. But maybe they I don't know, maybe they know something. Maybe they're maybe they do shady dealings and they're not aware of anything supernatural, but their shady dealings work with like people doing crime that happen to be werewolves that they don't know are werewolves. And it just, I don't know, to kind of
Mm.
like bring the worlds together, show us a little bit of history between these two packs that we're theorizing exist, or one pack and one other werewolf that's trying to build his pack. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I like that. I think though it's very clear we can agree that she's definitely Detective Ramsey is definitely either super knowledgeable about the werewolves or she is one. The whole
Hmm.
white noise machine, yeah, that definitely was like, that feels like a thing
Right.
because otherwise it's weird and
Hmm.
I don't know. And also like I want her to be one because I think that would be really fun
I know.
to see her get to be a monster.
Well, and what if I'm curious, like, what does it take? And we talked about this a little bit, like, what does it take for someone to go full on werewolf? Like, do
Hmm.
they need to have a pack? And what happens if you lose your pack? Like, is this werewolf?
Yeah.
I don't
Like
know.
an
Is this
Omega.
maybe
Are
are
we
they?
allowed to use all the terms?
I
I don't
know.
know
Can
if
we
we're
use the terms? But
Yes.
maybe, Jack, hold on. Maybe
Call them up, yeah.
they like. What if this werewolf has been like stuck in werewolf form? And like can't get out unless like his pack is formed or something.
Oh, that could be. I like that.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what the fire was, like busting whoever out of something. It would be weird.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
just want to know who's like what's the fire? Like what is besides being really pretty and making it very difficult for them to run around the woods.
right.
What is the fire about?
What's the fire? I mean, we know it's the poster of the show, but like how does this all fit?
Right. And like we know what it is in the Teen Wolf movie, but
Mhm.
apparently that's not linked, despite also being about fires. Um, it was to make Mountain Ash. Spoiler alert, but I don't think that's happening here.
No, I like your theory. The word barrier has been said, which to me
Mhm.
means someone was being kept in, trying to get out, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's
Mhm.
a good theory to run with, or not run with,
Yeah.
depending on if you can get in or
Right.
out.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes, but I'm
so
excited. I'm
I
excited to
am
see where this
too.
goes.
I'm pumped. Okay. So we have our theories, we have our thoughts. We gave it a B for buildup. Now, are you watching anything else?
I am going to
Currently.
be starting the new season of You on Netflix.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, because I really liked it. It's
Mm-hmm.
very eerie.
I love it.
I just like it's so dark and icky, but like in such a weirdly interesting way. Because
Yeah.
in no other context would I be like, yes, I want this serial killer psycho dude to like do well in his life. But like you do, you root for him. It's crazy.
Because
It's
you
just really
absolutely
interesting.
shouldn't. But
Hmm.
it's like the villain is also going through his own drama, conflict stuff, which
Hmm.
is just interesting.
It is
Yeah.
interesting. And actually, like I was reading some articles about just like how the writing process worked, and obviously they use the source material, the books that it's based on. But I also really like Sarah Gamble and like how she approaches storytelling. I don't know if you watched Magicians. She was also a big part of
You
Supernatural for a
love
little while.
magicians.
I
Yeah.
love Magicians. I was actually thinking about restarting that. So that might be, I don't know. I'm
Ooh.
sure it's someone who has like a degree in psychology would tell me the fact that I keep rewatching everything and
I
I
know.
haven't started anything new. There's sure there's like a reason for that, but there's like UFOs and things being shot down all over and it's freaking me out.
Okay.
So I might just go watch Magicians again. I don't know.
Right.
What about
Good
you?
for you. Um, Last of Us, of course. Um, and my girlfriend got me on um wait, hold on, I have to think. Because we keep calling it True Lies, but it's called Tell Me Lies on Hulu.
There is going to be a True Lies show though.
Is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're doing like from the movie. It's like I guess kind of the same people. This it's the same premise, but it's like
Okay.
based on the movie. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Tell Me Lies,
Well,
it's called.
Tell Me Lies on Hulu. It is pure and utter smut, and I even got Eric into it. It's so smutty, but what makes it so addictive is that like so these kids, it's like present day, and these people are like our age, and they all went to college together, and they're at a wedding in the pilot, but it flashes back because the to when they're in college. So it's primarily in 2007, 2008.
Okay.
So very nostalgic for someone like you and me with music, the fashion, like in one of the episodes they had just got their Netflix DVD subscription in, which I thought it was hilarious because it's a Hulu show. But it's just, yeah, it's so insane, and it's all set around like this person at college died. How are they all involved in what happened with her death is like the premise.
Oh.
So we're figuring that out right now. I think they were based on books or something. I don't know. But I'm pissed because I re-upped my Hulu subscription and I'm on like the second to last episode. And every time we log in to watch it, it's frozen, but only for that episode.
That's so weird.
I
Why is
know.
it doing that?
I don't know. I'm so pissed. So I can't finish it.
That's why you
Um,
should watch Paramount Plus shows. Sting, like the
right.
Wolfpack is on Paramount Plus.
And
Although
then
I love Hulu too, so they have great shows. Except they
they do have
canceled
great shows.
Reboot. I was very sad about that. I
Yeah.
really liked that one.
But
You should still watch it though.
I know I
It's a good
should.
first season.
And then of course last week, um, my Housewives of New Jersey came back. So,
You'd be so proud of me. I am
Housewives.
actually watching a reality TV thing, like one of those.
What is
Not
it?
not Housewife.
Okay.
Love Island. I
Oh,
started watching Love Island. It's so stupid, but like
it
in the
is
most fun
dumb.
way.
I watched
Because they
season
like
one.
lean into it. Like they know that it's ridiculous. The
Right.
announcer like acknowledges it. But yeah, I find it entertaining.
Are you on season one on Netflix?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Millie just put it on and I was like, why are you watching this? And then
But
it
they
was
like
funny.
sleep
So
together, which is weird. I'm like, they're sleeping in the same bed
hmm
and they
Am
just,
I
and
the only one who like thinks about like logistics? Like, is no one night
right.
farting in this show? Like, his morning breath doesn't exist? Like, that's the stuff I think of,
But they're all
you know.
they're all in like their early 20s, so they're like still used to hiding that. Like I remember when I went to see Eric in San Francisco for the first time very early in our relationship, like I went outside to fart.
It's like the How I Met Your Mother episode. Like,
Yes.
this man is outside every day at 7 o'clock. What is he doing? That's what he was doing. That's
Yeah.
great.
That's what he was doing. That's what I was doing. So they're still at that stage and they're but it is addicting. I did watch the
hmm
first season. I did fast forward though. Cuz it's like 20 something episodes.
Yeah, and some of them are really, really long. I'll figure out which season I'm on and I'll tell you
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I don't even know which one. We just
Okay.
kind of started one because I
Right.
generally, as you know, only watch like cooking and like
Mhm.
HGTV stuff as my like reality
Yeah.
TV. So I need to get in Naked and Afraid, which was like a pandemic
Oh, I
thing that we got
forgot. You
weirdly
were
obsessed with.
that was like a
And
thing
I'm
for
like
you.
so not an outdoors person, but like Mike and I were convinced like if we were dropped in the wild, like and we'd be watching, we'd be like, oh, they have to get some protein. Yeah, like their shelter's not even built. They're not gonna sustain. Absolutely not. And like meanwhile, we won't even go in the backyard after dark because
Right.
bugs. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so
Mhm.
that was fun. We've moved on from that. We've matured.
Okay. Okay.
hmm
Hey, those were dark times, you know.
Yes, and I'm very confident that the skills that we acquired from Naked and Afraid marathons, when inevitably the world cracks open and we're swallowed by like some sinkhole, we
Yeah.
could survive down there for at least like a good 8 to 10 hours. So
Okay. There you
stick
go,
with
girl.
me. I got the knowledge.
Okay.
Got the knowledge. It'll be great.
I love
I
it.
just want the world to hang out long enough so that we can figure out what the heck's going on in Wolfpack, and then I'll be
I
okay. Like,
know.
at
Okay.
least give us that.
So next week, episode 4, or this week. Yeah. Okay. This week, episode 4. And we'll see how our theories unfold.
Yeah.
Tweet us your ideas and thoughts and theories, guys. On Twitter at pure_fandom. And we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Thanks for listening and watching if you did that.